Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rahim Capitals. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a full breakdown on how I was able to get this amazing trade on the hourly time frame, hitting about 900 pips in total, and I made about $50,000 from this trade with a balance of $4,900, as you can see right here, which is a 1,000% increase in my balance. All right. So So you see, this is one of those trades where everything just aligned perfectly. I turned a $4,900 account into over $50,000. No fluff. And this is not by luck, not by gambling, but by following a simple top-down strategy. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking it down step by step so you can actually understand how it happened. All right. So as you can see, you know, most traders don't lose because they can't analyze the markets. Most traders lose because they enter at the wrong time, overtrading and impatience. But this right here is the opposite of that. One clean setup, one bias, and proper execution. Okay. So first thing I always do, I zoom out. Whenever I want to analyze in the markets, I zoom out to the higher time frames. And as you can see, this is the hourly time frame right here. So, because if you don't understand the markets on the bigger picture, you know, you're always going to get confused on the lower time frame. Get that? So, always pay attention to the higher time frame. That's where you need to understand the direction, the structure of the markets, and then you use the lower time frames for your entry. All right? You need to pay attention to this because I'm giving you guys real source right here. If you pay attention and if you apply everything I'm saying in this video, you're going to see a very huge change in your trading career. You're going to start making a lot of money from the financial markets. I promise you this. That is if you apply everything I'm telling you right in this video. Okay. So let's get to the breakdown. So on the 1 hour time frame, what I did was I identified what direction the market was going towards. And I realized that the market was going towards the bearish direction. We had a bearish momentum. And how did I realize that? If you've watched my previous video about market structure, I told you guys that how you can identify a market direction is by seeing a series of lower highs, lower lows forming, or a series of higher highs and higher lows forming. That's for the bullish, and this is for the bearish. All right. So, and from this chart, as you can see clearly that the market is going towards the downside, creating a series of lower highs and lower lows on the charts. Am I clear? You can see it right here. So my first confluence was identifying the structure of the markets. And secondly, I used the trend line right here. So, and for a trend line, for those of you who don't know how to use a trend line properly, for you to identify if a trend line is valid, all you need is two taps on the charts. You know, you need the first tap and you need the second tap, you know, just like this. And then you use your trend line. So whenever price comes back to this zone, to this area, then you can take your trade. All right. That is very valuable. And another thing about trend lines is the more taps you have on the trend line, the more powerful it gets. Okay. So my second confluence right here was the trend line. I need you guys to take note of everything I'm saying in this video. All right. So after identifying this trend line, next thing I did was if you pay attention, you see that price formed a resistance area right here. You see that? And all right. So after the trend line, after the resistance area, all I needed was price to come back to this zone, which was my point of interest. Okay. So all I needed was price to come back to this area, was my point of interest. And you can see clearly that price did come back to that zone, always as expected, right? And if you look closely, everything I'm doing right here is on the 1 hour time frame. I'm identifying the trend and finding my point of interest. I'm doing that all on the higher time frame. Okay, so take note of it. So once price reached my point of interest, I didn't just take the trade immediately. No, you don't do that. No, if you want higher comfort, better confirmations on your trades, and especially for those of you who want bigger risk to reward, it's advisable to always go down to the lower time frame to get a confirmation. Right. So once I did everything right here, next thing I did was move to the lower time frame. So I shifted to this 5 minute time frame right here. Okay. All right. So this is our point of interest. So, this is where things can get a little bit confusing, but if you pay attention and you get it once, it's over. You know what I mean, yeah? So one thing about market structure is even though on the higher time frames price is bearish, but lower time frames can still have a little short-term bullish move, just like you see right here. So the hourly time frame was already bearish, but you can see that the 5 minute time frame was bullish. You can see price was going up, and forming higher highs and higher lows. So with this kind of formations in the market, you don't just take trades, you know, don't just sell in there. You know what I'm saying? You need a market structure shift on the lower time frame also for better confirmations. All right. This is how you get better trades, and this is how you can get sniper entries leading you to making, hitting big RR trades, 1 to 10 RR, 1 to 15 RR trades, and, risking less to gain more. All right. So what I did was wait for a market structure shift right here. So you can see this was a slight break right here, but it's not really. Sometimes when you see something like this, price might still go up. So you needed better confirmations, and price formed a lower high right here, and we saw another break. So this is a very, very good confirmation. All right. So once we see something like this, then we can identify this area, so area as our market structure shift. Some call it change of character, whatever it is. You understand what I mean? So let's see right here. So our market structure shift has been identified, which is very, very important. And if you look closely right here, you can see there is a trend line retest to the bearish side. Okay. So you can see right here, there's a trend line retest right here. And so now all we need to do is find our perfect sniper entry for this trade. And what I did was identify this supply area as my entry. Okay, because this retest has already been formed and the market structure shift. So I'm going to use this supply area and this trend line retest as my entry. Correct. So, and if you look closely, price came back to this zone, tapping me in. Price mitigated my supply area and also my trend line retest, which is this. All right. So I set my risk, and my stop loss was above this high. The previous lower high I was formed right here. Okay, my stop loss was a bit above it.
talking about this lower high, right? So I set my stop loss a bit above it because value that's the value area. If price breaks this high, then there is a chance price is not gonna go down. Okay. And then I set my take profits at the hourly low, which is this, securing about almost 900 pips in total. All right. So, and that was about 1 to 15 RR. You can see it right here. Right. So took profit right here. After about 24 hours, we hit our take profit. Okay. So this is the amazing trade we took. You can see the entry, a very clear pattern, and on both the higher time frame and also the lower time frame, you need to note down this pattern for your entries. This is a very, very important pattern on the lower time frames. All right. If you take note of this pattern and apply it to your low time frame entries, you're going to make a lot of money from this market. You're going to flip a lot of accounts. I promise you this. All right. So, and that was how we were able to make this. Flip this $4,000 and we made $50,000 in just one trade, in just one account. And the funny thing about this is I wasn't even risking 4,000 of the whole balance, about 5,000. No, I was risking about $2,000 from this balance. So if it makes sense, you can see that we made around about almost a 1,500% profit or more, I think. All right. So that is yours. So you guys should just take note of everything I said in this video, and you go back to the charts and look at it and gain some experience, because most of what you're gonna learn from this trading game, you're gonna learn from the live charts, experience. That's what's most important. Not only watching videos, most of the things I learned from the live charts, I gained the experience. So I'm telling you guys to also do the same thing, all right? So, and if you want more breakdowns like this, real trades, real logic, no hype, make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you're serious about trading and want to if you want to learn exactly how I spot setups like this, you can check the link in the description. One setup, one bias, and a $50,000 outcome. So, thank you for watching, everyone. Peace out.